Yes, now.
Our first guest is sharing her rags to riches story and the lessons she's learned in her brand new book, Dying to Self. Tashera Simmons grew up in Yonkers and met the late hip-hop icon DMX when she was just 11 years old. They were married for 16 years.
Yep,
wow.
yep.
Before divorcing in 2014.
Tashera explains her journey to self-discovery through healing and faith, and she's here to tell us all about it. Please welcome the incredible story of Tashera Simmons.
Thank you.
It is lovely to meet you.
Hi, I'm Ben again.
Hi, Ben.
Nice.
Oh, good to see you.
Thank you for being
Let me
here.
see these nails.
They're very
Thank
nice.
you.
Nice.
Nice and green, right?
Let's rep Yonkers. Let's do this.
Why,
We're going to move you over because we need to have you in front of your
You need
correct
your camera. We need a slow push in when the dramatic moments and everything like that.
Oh my gosh.
Your story is insane. I mean, insane. I mean, you met, obviously, you're married to DMX for a great deal of time, but before that, when your parents, you're one of 8.
One of 8, oldest.
And at a very young age, your parents kind of went away.
Yep.
And you had to raise your siblings.
Yep.
Which is crazy.
Which is crazy. At 14 years old, turned into from a young girl to a mother overnight, basically.
My goodness.
And, in a time where, it was no real social media, so I was not able, no outreaches that I thought that I can go to, so I basically had to fend for myself. And, but I have to say, I always say this, I said, anything that happens to us happens for us, because it definitely made me the woman I am today, and this is how Dying to Self was inspired.
So why now? Why write the book now? Had you finally processed everything? Did you feel like you were in a safe space?
Yes, I thought I was in a safe space, and it was actually ready a week before my ex-husband passed away.
Wow.
And I could not benefit off of that situation because I got a lot of attention.
Yeah.
So I waited. I had to process his passing. It felt like part of my life was gone, to be totally honest with you. Even though we weren't together, we were the best of friends. So it actually gave me more ammunition for this story because I started to have to find myself and redevelop my mind and kill my flesh. And I say kill my flesh because that's where our emotions lie. So I say kill my flesh and rise in my spirit. And since then, I have been on such an amazing, positive journey because I conquered my trauma. To be honest with you.
Right.
And being married to DMX, I mean, you talk about the success and also the trials and tribulations of being married to. As his ex-wife, didn't you want to call this X gonna give it to you?
Yeah, you know what? I actually did, but then I'm trying to come out of his shadow.
Right.
Because this is your story,
because
not
this
his.
is my story,
Right.
and no matter how, doesn't matter. Whenever someone sees me, because I was his only wife, they're like, DMX's wife.
Right.
And I'm just like,
Right.
and I've lost my identity in a sense, So this is my coming out.
Right.
I had to die to myself because that's the place where I kept hearing DMX wife, and then rise in my spirit where it's like, this is where that little young girl who was abandoned is now coming alive, being grown, and doing her own thing.
I'm listening to you talk, and I'm thinking about Michelle Obama because she waited after Obama left the presidency, and she waited to write her own book for a similar reason. She was like, I'm my own person. Did you get any pushback for that? Or were you sort of like, this is my story, this is what I'm going to do, and this is the story I have to tell?
Yeah, and when you say pushback, you mean like
because so many people had identified you as someone's wife.
Yes.
Instead of just being exactly who you are, irrespective of your siblings, who you were married to, who you were the child of, just you being exactly you.
Yeah, I had to fight to get to this place because for some reason, because of being DMX's history, it's like no one can see anyone else but him in me because our stories are so deep and intertwined together. So I had to fight. I had a lot of pushback. And that's why that's why the dying to self is so profound, because I literally had to get out of those insecure places of saying, no, I am somebody. I have my own identity, and this is how I got here. And it took some time. He's an icon. He was a very strong personality. He was very talented. But behind every great man, there's a great woman. and it's my time to shine. And that's where I am now, and I'm grateful to God.
And you have an event coming up in Brooklyn, right?
Yes, I do. I have a book signing on Thursday in Brooklyn, and it's going to be very intimate, and people could ask me a bunch of questions, dive into the book, because it has a lot of intimate things in there about me and my ex-husband, but in a very positive way. You know, like I'm trying to, it's like a blueprint to be uplifted and self-help. If that makes sense.
And I love that you guys remain friends. It's wonderful.
We did. We have.
It's rare.
Come on. I'm like 40-something years of friendship.
You were kids when you met.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
we
so
were
crazy.
kids. So, you know, I'm grateful that we had that before he passed on. And, you know, I'm going to make sure that I always respect his legacy. And, you know, there's a bunch of things in works that, you know, I'm not going to talk about yet, but I'm going to be back to talk to you guys.
You'll be back to talk about them soon. Well,
Love
thank you so much for stopping by. We appreciate it.
And thank you for having me.
Of course.
I appreciate you guys.
Of course.
Dying to Self is available now, and you can meet Tashera this Thursday at the, is it Adan?
It's jaywalking.
It's jaywalking. The Bookshop, Brooklyn, 5 p.m. All the info is right